Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Don't Keep Mum the podcast. I know, it's happening. So I've managed to distract one savage with a bowl of pasta and she's eating her feelings downstairs while the other one's playing in his room. So if you're looking for something perfect and polished, this is not the podcast for you. This is literally me talking to myself in my bedroom, and I apologise in advance. But if you're looking for somewhere to get things off your breasticles, testicles, or just talk about your domesticals, this is a no-bar safe place for us to talk about everything parenting. Let's go.
So let's change the world today. Let's make it better in every way.
Thank you, lovely people that I have emotionally blackmailed into doing this with me. Boo's going to go first because you might need to jump off. So we'll start with Boo. We'll we'll go by bloodline. We'll go to Emily next, then to Anna. And if you just say who you are and how I've managed to rope you into this, and a little bit about yourself, that's it.
I am Olivia, and I've been roped into this because Naomi is my sister.
I'll smash your face in if you don't.
Exactly. I don't have the option to say no. You want to know a bit about me? I live in Nuneaton. I am a lawyer by day and most nights, and a mum and dating girlfriend in between.
All right, enough of you. Next one.
Hi, I'm Emily. I've been roped into this again because I'm Nemi's sister.
And I'm bigger than you.
Yeah, exactly. And if Boo's doing it, I've got to. I am a part-time fire engineer and full-time mummy. That's
Next.
It, really.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am Naomi's sister-in-law, married to her brother. And I'm a mom of two, expecting a third.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. And daunting. And yeah, I'm a full-time mom right now, and it's busy and great, and yeah, everything that goes with that.
And we're all mums, basically, aren't we? That's the thing that we all have in common at different stages of parenthood. So Emily, you've got two. Your eldest is like double almost the age of my youngest. Boo, you've got a really young baby. You're a pretty new mum, and we're all just muddling through it. So, in like true Sesame Street style, the letter of the day, we'll start at the beginning, is A. So if you each just take a turn at thinking of a word something that represents something you've been through in motherhood that begins with A. So Boo, you go first.
My one is antenatal classes, and I suppose that is something that I went through before I started the journey of motherhood. And I wanted to talk about them because I think loads of people's experiences of them are different.
Yeah.
And I chose to do the privately paid ones purely to try and extend my network of mum friends, because I didn't really have any except for in the family.
Did you all go to antenatal classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, just me. They terrified the bejesus out of me, the thought of going.
Yeah, they are a little bit terrifying. You tend to just, well, I think you just go. Well, there's two classes of people. The ones that go so that they can tell everyone that they know absolutely everything about motherhood, and I hate them. Or you go there just so that you can be added to the WhatsApp group at the end of it.
Yeah, I had two different experiences with my two. So the first one, I just did NHS classes, and you're just with like 30 odd people, you don't talk to anybody and you don't feel like you get anything out of it. But I felt like I couldn't do the paid private ones because I wasn't sure what people would think of me if I did, because there were NHS ones.
True.
And then I didn't really have many mummy friends the first one. I found it quite hard because I've not got that sort of personality to really go, you know, up to random people and be like,
Yep.
be my friend. So then with my second, I was like, no, I'm going to pay. And now I have such a good network of friends from doing that, to the NCT classes, that it's just worth all the money. And
Yeah,
it was a
true.
nicer situation as well. It wasn't like that daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is surprisingly important, and it's like sometimes you don't realize you need it until you don't have it.
Yeah.
I had my first in Hong Kong, which was quite a unique experience. And I moved to Hong Kong pregnant, so I wasn't working. I didn't know anyone. I went to like the publicly funded, like the public healthcare classes there, but again, they were mostly informal. I would try and like talk to people a lot. But
I can so imagine that, can't you?
oh my god,
Imagine Anna doing it.
it was total like mum dating, and it was really like yeah, like it was. But I felt like, obviously, yeah, you don't want to be too keen and like all this weird stuff. But I ended up doing an antenatal yoga class, like again, a private, you know, through a private yoga studio and stuff. And no one talked in that. And I bought 10 sessions, and I was like, I can't make like, what the heck? I cannot make a friend. And the last day, my last session, someone that had like smiled at me during class waited for me. And she was like, are you in the WhatsApp group? And I said, no.
What?
Like we were talking and getting out.
Let me in.
And I kid you not, then it was like, oh, this is literally all the pregnant ladies in Hong Kong are on this WhatsApp group. And so I had friends that lived nearby, and just like it, yeah, you never know how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
but
I
you
think
do
it
put yourself out
is a
there.
personality thing, because I am not good in those situations at all, and my true character doesn't come out in those situations. I shut down, and so then they're no good for me at all. And with Theon, I went to the NHS one, and it was okay. It was a bit pointless. You're kind of like sat round regimented like in a circle, aren't you? And then with P, there was nothing offered. And the funny thing is that before I even had kids, I worked in a hotel that used to host the NCT groups for Manchester. And so I'd seen them, and I just remember thinking, like, at the time, I didn't just never want to be in this situation ever, because I could see like all these awkward moments happening, and it was giving me heart palpitations. But one of the best mummy friends I've got, I met at the library at toddler time. And I think that part of my problem was I was in complete denial when I had Theon that I was a mum, and that was like my category. And so I completely like repelled anything that put me under like that mummy title. And
it's a whole change of identity. Like people, you don't know it until you go through it. And it is like everyone experiences it differently, but it's huge. I was so taken by surprise with that.
Yeah. Even like I remember like people approaching me at the supermarket because they saw that I had kids, and they're probably just like really lonely mums. And as soon as they would like talk to me about mum stuff, I'd be like, no. I was just like no. I just didn't want anything to do with it. But then by the time I was pregnant with P,
see, I had to like put on a fake front when I did the NCT group with my second one, because I was like, with my first, like my closest friend was like a 65-year-old man, and he did have a kid. He had a kid the same age as
he's a nice man though. He's
really lovely. He's great, but like that was my mum, my daddy friend.
And like, he's our number one fan, and he'll be listening tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't randomly at these play groups. He did have a kid the same age as mine. But I was just like, I need more friends than just this man.
Yeah, so, and you were what, like 20? How old were you then?
Well, yeah, when I had him, I was like, 20, 27, something like that. So then with my second, I was like, right, I'm going to do this group and I'm going to make these friends. And at the end of it, there still wasn't an NCT group. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to have to say something. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to think you're weird. They're going to think you're weird. And then I was like, what's that group? Just randomly shouted it out.
It's because you've thought about it so much that it just blurts out like
That's
a
like, it
word
needs
vomit.
to happen. It needs to happen. We can't leave here.
I need to
with no
close. I
friends.
need to close.
Yeah.
Close the deal. Well, what's so interesting though is like all of us are kind of echoing the same thing of like it's such an awkward thing, but it's something that you need. So
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, I need someone to talk to. Stupid stuff about. But it's a weird.
Yeah.
It's a
And I'm
weird
not-
territory to navigate.
Yeah.
And I'm not stayed close necessarily with all the NCT, probably half of them, and then the other half of mummy friends are from playgroups. But it was a lot easier to make mummy friends at playgroups by having somebody from the NCT group who was just as weird as me. We were kind of
That's
just
the thing, right?
there being weird together, that we kind of like drew the other weird people towards us as well, and now we're our own big weird group.
So did you go from the one WhatsApp group and then you guys tailed off? Because my thing is,
Yeah.
so I'm still part of the main WhatsApp group, but no one's added me to this side group. There's must be going on by now. So I feel like, have I been ghosted?
You know what though, Boo? Sometimes they just don't. You know what I mean? Like I've met lots of people who have said
I
that
hope
the
not.
NCT groups just,
Fizzle.
we lost half
if
of ours.
if they invite you, Boo, they'll have nothing to talk about.
True. I didn't even think about it until my non-mum friend was like, "Oh, are you in any WhatsApp groups?" I'm like, "Yeah, we've got this big main one." And she was like, "What? Have they not tailed off?" I was like, "No, one's done that." And she was like, "Oh, you've just not been added."
You're like, oh yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
So, Em, what's your A word?
I was thinking activities. Mainly, you spend, especially like in your first year on maternity leave, trying to think of as many activities as possible to play with your child, so you don't feel like a bad mum, and they take you forever and ever to actually organise. And then the child either isn't interested in them at all, or they last 2 minutes, and then you're there like, I'm such a bad mum. I've only done 2 minutes of activities with my child. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that sticks with me.
Did you all do like baby groups and baby activities, like sensory classes and stuff like that?
In non-COVID times, I do.
Yeah.
It's been a huge shock not doing that. But yeah, I didn't. It took me so long to realize all the free things and all the, because I thought, oh yeah, of course there's tons of classes I could sign up for, but my kid, what if he's napping during a class, or you know, I was really. But then I discovered just this like entire new world of like drop-ins and rhyme times and play groups where you pay a pound for. Yeah, it took me
just
so
like
long
£1.50 or £1.
And you get a coffee or but I think that really helped, not just like me, like I know people from that and I see people in my neighborhood from that, but like it felt good to give them something.
Yeah, or even just to get out of the house sometimes, just as the like something that you can try to guilt trip yourself into the reason why you need to put like some clean pants on and get your hair washed.
Yeah, we all need to get out of the house. Yeah.
And feel like you're entertaining the kids, but you still get a hot cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they were the best. I miss those so much because
me too.
Emily makes it for you
so much.
It is a strange one because I don't know whether or not, like, another A word is age, and I don't know whether or not the age that you are changes your path and your experience. And I think that because I probably was a lot older than all of you when I had Theon, I'd already had like those spontaneous years. I'd done a lot of traveling, a lot of socializing, and so when he was born, I was happy just to like run around and continue my normal life, but with him strapped on my back or to my front, and jump on a train and go and do like grown-up stuff. And I never really thought about doing anything sensory with him outside of the house. And I think it was because like my social needs were still filled. And he really, when I look at the difference between Theon and Penelope, is that Theon basically had to fit in around our life, but then when P came along, we had to fit in around hers. Because it's so difficult to do anything when there's just one of you and you've got multiple children. And so with P, we did go to lots of sensory classes, and I went to like all the free parent and toddler classes, and I let her sleep through them. Because I would take any break and any chance for Theon to just like run ragged. But you don't really, do you feel like anyone really spoke to you about stuff like that before you had kids? Like did you feel like you completely had to navigate it on your own?
Oh, definitely. Like having my first, none of my friends had kids, none of my family had kids. I didn't have a clue, and it was really, really scary. Like I didn't know. Like with my second, she was going to group since she was like 5 weeks old, or probably younger than that, 3 weeks old, because I needed to get my first out of the house. Yeah. Whereas with him, it took me probably 6 months to like find stuff and then just be brave enough to go to it.
Yeah. Similar. I think because the age I was when I settled down, I hadn't stayed anywhere long enough to have any long-term friends. So even though I was older, I didn't really have any friends that had kids either. And I didn't know that, like, I didn't even know what sensory was. You know what I mean?
Baby massage and things like this. Like people say, I feel when they talk about it, I feel like a bad parent because I'm like, I didn't know about it, so therefore he didn't have it. And does that mean that he missed out on stuff? And I know it's a stupid thought, but it does make you think like that. You're like, oh, there's like loads of stuff. You know,
he's
like
brilliant without his sensory massage.
Yeah, I was like, I just took him to the village hall every Tuesday.
Some of it is a bit ridiculous, though, isn't it? Like there was, they had something called like an activity. It was called something like musical showering, and like the activity was showering your children in sounds, and they basically had these domes where you put your baby in, and you were showering them with tune, like I don't know.
So you just sang to them. You could do that at home.
Like there's so many silly titles that they put in.
Yeah, I feel like obviously do what works for you and what you like, but there is also a lot of people making money off of a lot of this stuff. Yeah. So
we went to a music class, and I kid you not, it was for under twos. And we went because I think Theon was like 21 months when P was born. They charged me for P. P was like weeks old, and it was like £7 a class.
Oh yeah, the one we go to on a Friday is music class. So I pay £5 for one. But Connie has three, doesn't she? She's got the two twins, which are like 4 months old. She has to pay for all three of them.
Ridiculous.
15 quid.
She's like, I think it's like a sibling price or something, so it ends up being like £12 altogether. But still,
that's
it's like
crazy.
Okay,
and they're not even going to remember it.
No.
I don't know if like whether or not you plan your children has anything to do with it, because I definitely just made Teddy do what I was doing. So I wanted to go to the gym, so I took him to the gym with me.
I think that it's not like it's timing though, because I think that like particularly in the past 3 years, there's been like a real like mummy movement, and especially in places like gyms and like yoga classes, they've realised that there's like a mummy market, and like, there's like a mummy pound that you can cash into. Because even when I had Theon, I remember looking everywhere in Stretford for a yoga class where you could just bring your baby, and there were none. And then like last year, I remember like suddenly everybody was going to yoga classes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is then. Maybe it's like timing, because obviously I had Teddy a year ago, and when I was on mat leave, there's loads of stuff like that. So anything that I didn't do baby sensory or anything like that, but if there was something that I could engage in as well as him. So with the gym, there was a creche at the gym, so he went there. And to be fair, he was quite young. He was like 3 months when he started doing that. And there was also an exercise class near where I live. So I took him to that, and he was like in one of those, those play gyms that babies have.
Mm-hmm.
He just was in that while I was doing star jumps around him.
I think that's pretty amazing. Cool. Because I've been with you before, and like you drop him off asleep and you collect him asleep. So it's like to him nothing's happened, and your mental health is being kept on a high rather than a dip. I just think that if I'd maybe had stuff like that when Penelope was born, then my experience would have been completely different.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing is though, you do have people that don't agree with it. And like, for example, in the NCT group, I would have never told them when I was going to the gym and dropping Teddy off at the creche, for example, because they were always telling us about all the different sensory classes and things like that they were going to with their baby. So I wouldn't necessarily shout about it, but it worked for me.
Do you is that do you think that that's an NCT thing, or do you think that's a parent thing that everyone kind of secretly judges each other?
I think it's a parent thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's an NCT thing. There's like my group as well, there was half and half. There's the ones that are quite work orientated, and then there's the ones that so I think there's just different ranges of people, aren't there?
I find that people need to justify what they're doing. It's not necessarily that they judge you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
exactly.
Judged. So they take it in with the low blow to try and rally up that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're just constantly checking that what you're doing is right. Like I do it all the time. Like when, I said, at the baby massage, I'm there like, oh, have I done something wrong? By not taking my child to baby massage.
And I think my unsolicited advice to a lot of parents, obviously within reason, is do what stresses you out the least.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, please take my kid. Like I love them so much, but please take him. Let me sleep. Let me have a break, whereas I know that would have de-stressed me. Whereas I know plenty of people, like having someone else look after their kid would be a stressful experience or something. So I think you do need to, different strokes for different folks. And you have to follow what feels right for you with that stuff. And that could be completely different from someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. And feel free to change your mind as well. I know so many people that they feel stuck with the decisions that they've made because they feel like they have to stand by the choices that they've made. And I feel like my whole parenting journey has just been a continuations of either what the fucks or oh fuck or I shouldn't have done that. And you have to give yourself that right to make the mistakes, because so much of it I'm one of 6. Our mum did this seven times, and I still had no clue.
How?
I know. No, I'm like that with Anna, though. I'm like, you chose to have 3. You're having a third. At least with Connie was accidental. Twins just came along. Anna's the first to actually choose 3.
Well, there's so many moments, though, where we've got our 2 kids, and we're like, this is so fun. This is so awesome. Why wouldn't we keep having more kids? This is just a great little squad we have.
Then you look down at how many hands you got and you go, no, that's
But then there'll be moments where you're like, okay, he's crying, she's crying, and someone's gonna hand me a baby. What? What the heck are we doing?
I'd have a ton more. The big thing for me is as the eldest, because there's 10 years between me and Boo, so I saw a lot of what went on, and I kind of thought that I'd been privy to everything. I thought I knew everything that to expect, and I realized we didn't even see 5% of it. we were audience to a very thin slither of what it means to be a parent.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing when you think of that, just what your parents did.
Yeah.
And how young things come as well. I thought, we started fighting older, we fought as teenagers, or all this, and then mine just fight all the time. I'm 5 and now 3, but one also nearly 6, and they are constantly, they love each other to pieces, but constantly fighting over my knees and things like that. I've got 2 knees. Imagine if I had 3. How would I share them out when they can't even share 2 at the minute? my mummy.
Let them fight it out. That's it. You choose a favourite, and then the others just fight it out.
Yeah, and one's starting taekwondo tomorrow, so maybe I've given them an unfair advantage.
Anna, what's your A word, Anna?
So I was thinking of a lot of them, and I wasn't sure, but one that keeps coming back to me is autonomy. Because, and it's interesting as we're having this conversation, I'm kind of thinking about it as a parent. That's one way to think of it. But how I originally thought of it was with your kids, giving them the autonomy to do their thing, even though I can't tell you how many heart attacks I've had, seeing my kids do this, daring, confidence boosting task, like often a physical task. But also the balance of that and the flip side of like, well, look at how proud they are of themselves when they do it. Look at, you know, how they've increased their skills in this way. And so, yeah, as difficult as it is, I think trying to give the kids autonomy, but also knowing that that range is like really different for different parents. And that it's when you're all parenting together, like at a play group or anything, that it can be.
And looking for the opportunities.
You can see the differences.
Yeah, but looking for the opportunities as well. Like, you don't have to actively try to set out those times and those activities. There's lots of different ways that you can give kids that autonomy. Like even little things like with P, she really enjoys taking Theon to school, and she believes that she takes him to school and she drops him off, and that's her responsibility. And then she has that time with Yanni by herself on the way back, and she takes control. So it's like, Daddy, we need to go to the supermarket, we need to go to the post office, we need to do this, we need to do that. And the same, even like they stop off at the park, and she gets to navigate the park by herself, and she doesn't have to wait her turn to go on the slide because there's not a bigger kid like pushing her out of the way. I think our parents especially did really well at making sure that we all got that. And what do you think, because you're the youngest of 6? Do you feel that
well, I'd probably say that I was probably afforded the least autonomy, though. I had like a million people being my mum and dad, and that meant that by the time I grew up, I mean, I was still a baby then, and I'm still a baby now. So I'd probably say, like, although I'm not at that stage with Teddy yet, I would say that it's a good thing to encourage the autonomy of your children, like Anna is saying, and like you're saying, just to encourage the independence, because that's definitely something, as the youngest of a massive family, that I've always struggled with. Hence why I'm the one who lives closest to mum and dad still.
Yeah, you have to approach the board for every decision that you make, because we never allowed you that luxury.
No.
You just had to do what you were told by one of the masses.
Exactly. I probably consult mum and dad before I consult Scott, and that's a problem. So yeah, definitely would encourage that.
I'm pretty sure we all do that, to be fair.
Yeah.
What, consult mum and dad before?
Yes.
I think they have to unplug the phone because there's just people.
But me and Olivia me and Bill were having this discussion the other day. We were like making plans, and then we both went, "Oh yeah, we should probably go tell Liv off." We're like, "Oh yeah, good point."
Yeah, definitely. That is the point, though. Mum and dad do actually unplug the phone. So for anyone listening, that's what we have to go through.
I know, mum and dad were like so gutted when things went digital, because I remember like Joe with the old like dial phones, they would literally just take the cord out of the wall, and then like now,
you have an excuse.
You can find a way to get to them. You can either choose like either Facebook, or you can Skype them. There's like a million ways, and they're like constantly trying to turn them all off.
Yeah, they're pretty good at just ignoring them though.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I was in the bath.
Nice.
Ignore your kids. There you go. That's the motto.
Yeah, that's how you teach them autonomy. Just
There you go.
just ignore them.
Fostering independence.
They'll work it out. Boo's still trying to self-soothe, and she's 30. So.
I definitely think my second is more independent than my first. She's constantly like, do it myself. Yeah, whereas the other one was like, oh, I can't do that. One sec, mummy will do it.
It's funny, isn't it? Because it's similar in some ways with like P and Theon, but I don't know whether or not sometimes with Theon it's not because he's not independent, it's because he knows mummy will do it. So he's
Yeah,
he's like, I can't be asked. Whereas
yeah,
Pete,
exactly.
she's got something to prove all the time.
Definitely, yeah.
And sometimes I feel a bit worried for her that because she's always on, like she's always got to show that she can do it and she is capable. Whereas Theon's like he knows that he can do it, so like why bother?
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like that ebbs and flows with your kids sometimes, like with their ages, like as they're mastering certain skills, it's like, I really want to do this myself. But then like I'll often find my kids will ask me to do something for them that they've known how to do it for a really long time, but it is kind of, I don't know if it's testing or like what exactly it is, but they're just like, but will she do it? Will she help me? Like feed myself the last bits of this bowl of dinner, stuff like that. And
because the other one's asked it, it's like, oh, I want you to do that for me now.
Yeah, like I find a lot of the time, like with Theon, when he has like Joe quote unquote regression, it's normally because P's having a difficult period and she's like had lots of tantrums, and so he wants to kind of like push the boundaries to see how far I'd go for him, because he's being really patient with her while she has a complete meltdown, so he'll like go in and try and get a piece of the pie too. But, that's
don't blame him, that's clever.
Yeah.
I think my A word would have to be arseholes. I don't know about yours, but mine has not been the same since I had kids.
Oh, your actual arsehole. I thought you meant like people that are arseholes.
Yeah, me too.
This is the thing. It's so like multi-leveled, isn't it? Because like I feel like as soon as you do become a mum, you are a bit of a target for arseholes.
You open yourself up to them, definitely.
Yeah. And that's it. It's like, it's not, you are vulnerable, so people can pick you out, but also like hormonally, like you put yourself in such a position for people to easily be able to take advantage of you. And sometimes as well, like you do feel vulnerable and all you want is someone just to like look after you. And so it is easy to get kind of like burnt by an arsehole. But also my actual arsehole.
Wow.
And they say like rip you a new one. Like I didn't realize it was going to happen twice. But yeah, my butt has never been the same.
Why? What happened?
Well, like with Theon,
got ripped a new one. She just told you.
I had a third degree episiotomy that opened 3 days after they stitched it up, and it never closed. It took a year to close. And I remember on the 4th week, so what happened was I had this third degree episiotomy. Because it opened, it gave me a slight prolapse. But what had happened was that in labour, before the episiotomy, my sphincter had frozen. And when they did the epidural and then they did the episiotomy, it just made everything spasm close, and so it was just shut. And it took a year to heal. And I remember actually on the 4th week, I was in loads of pain, and a midwife said to me, like, I know you don't want to hear this, but if you are planning to have kids, like just know that it will fix itself, and probably the hormones from pregnancy will help everything to relax. And I remember thinking, like, what a bitch. like I'm in so much pain right now, and you're telling me that I've got to go and get laid and get pregnant to fix this. Like, no. But actually, when I fell pregnant with P, all the hormones did help everything to naturally relax and put itself back into place.
Wow, so she was right.
Yeah. But I didn't realise it. So, when they talk about Kegel exercises, there are 3 Kegel areas. I didn't realise.
What's a Kegel? What's a
Kegel?
Kegel?
When you do your squeezes to tighten up your...
See, I never got told about
your pelvic
squeezes.
floor.
First time out, I never got told about it.
So you've got your vagina, haven't you? So you've got the front. You've got
one?
Yeah.
Has everyone got one?
Just check.
You've got your perineum, the middle bit. Oh, Mum needs to be here.
That's definitely a word I recognise.
It's the bit in between.
And then you've got your butthole, and you need to exercise all 3. And I had a really strict antenatal teacher. You could get free physical therapy before your birth in Hong Kong, and there was a lot of cultural differences, and she was really strict with me, and like with a gloved hand, and I was clothed, but she actually felt to make sure I was like squeezing the right areas. Like it was very strict, but
and kind of traumatic. It was kind of like, as far as I was getting told off about this stuff, but it absolutely, she was spot on though. Like as weird as it was and everything, like I know, like I was doing those exercises a ton.
This is the thing. These professionals, they know their shit. It's so frustrating and so annoying. It's like when they tell you, you just really don't want to hear it. But actually, what you like start. It's even like just stupid stuff. Do you know when people say, "Oh, you should sleep when the baby sleeps"?
I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
But it's fucking true.
It's not. How are you going to clean your house? I don't know.
That's the point. You shouldn't have to. And I used to hate it. Oh, guys, thank you so much. I'll wrap it up there. I really appreciate it. Shall we come back for another one next week?
Sounds good.
So we're on B next week.
Yeah. So B word.
Butthole instead of arsehole.
So let's change the world today. Let's make it better in every way.